Hello and welcome back to Rollercoaster Tycoon, where we are on a skyscraper building the very start of our amusement park. But, well, I have to admit, the eggheads are not helping. I mean, jet skis, like, seriously? Jet skis? Where on the... Well, I was about to say, like, where on the earth are we gonna put those, since we cannot lower the terrain? How cool would it be if we do jet skis on the roof of this thing? Would that be cool? I think it would be freaking cool. And I think we can even pull it off. See, what if we... In theory, what we could do is a station like that. But then we do need to terraform this roof away a little bit, else we won't be able to make it. Unless what we do is... no, just hold your horses here for a moment. But I want a somewhat of a queue size, and I was thinking of relocating, doing like a tile square here, and then entrance here, but yeah, that's only like a one tile queue, that's way too small. What if we do it over here? Is that gonna be any good? It's gonna be a short one then. And we will be using up quite a bit of valuable path space, which I'm a little bit against. We could also arguably make one here. Right. So if we make one here, then what we could do is make it so... Oh, that was not the intention. What would we be able to do with the queue? Because that would be the big question. We can have like a station here. But then what? Right? I mean, if we put an exit here, that's not a problem. But for the queue path, we definitely need a better solution. And I don't see one. So that's also not an option. So unless we terraform it and then make it all the way over here. Hold on a second. Would we be able to reverse it? I'm thinking of like the station and the entrance and exits over here. But what if we reverse it? What if we make the water as such that we have the entrance and exit over here, and then yeah, I think that could work, guys. And then we would also still have room to hook something up over here, like a station of a coaster or something. Yeah. What it would require though is quite a bit of terraforming. I'm looking at our cache. And I'm thinking, like, if we do this, it's gonna be quite a big gamble, so it better pay off. So basically, what we would then need to do is we're gonna do it cheesy and cheapy. But I think all the way up till here, and then just a too wide area. So that would mean this. And then we would have to do the same here. Oh. Well, guys, that was all our money. I can't put water here on the roof. Oh, how lame. And just out of curiosity, what if we were to say... Nope. Balls! Well then, I guess all that we can do now is raise it back up. That is such a shame. So that means no jet skis then. Right. Good, we have learned this and have blown through all our 1,000 monies that we had without achieving anything. Good to know. If ever you want to build water on a skyscraper, don't. So, scratch that, you know. Let us get something like this, which is like a rainproof ride, and I think we'll do much better. That's not that difficult than the ride that we've just built. And to be fair, I think we should get it like right next to this ride. Okay, I guess the game has a point. That is an issue. But fear not, it's not like we're completely broke yet. Although we're trying hard to get completely broke. Oh man, that was a big epic fail on my behalf. But the good thing about this ride is that it can have plenty of guests on it, because it can have 20 guests, and it doesn't take that long for like one showing of the Space Raiders to complete. And we should definitely go with the Space Raiders on this one, as the thing is in the spacey area of the park. So there we go. You know, having established that, let's also help out with like a few more benches. Yeah. Hold on, get in there for $5. Did it work? Yeah. How good is that? So in theory, guys, if you have like loads of guests over here, you could just raise up the prices and they would presumably still pay. I don't know if that holds true, but it would be rather cool, wouldn't it? Yeah, it's making its money. I'm just curious at our finances. Ride tickets, yeah. We're at the 5th of April. I think we're gonna get above the 430 that we had, you know, just last month. I think we're gonna do better. We better. I mean, oh man, it would be really bad if we can't get profitable. And that's the thing, you know, without a train coaster, then it might become rather difficult to achieve that. Well, it looks okay-ish, but what about that? I think this looks much more fancy. We shall call this Disco Bowl. Yeah. It's a bit cheap and ordinary for a name, but yeah, no, it'll do. It's what I am too, cheap and ordinary. As for like gentle rides, we also have like a Ferris wheel. Shall we do that on top of this skyscraper? It is rather fitting, don't you think, to have a Ferris wheel on top of a skyscraper. It's like it ticks all the boxes of megalomania and whatnot. So we'll do it. We'll do entrance here and exit here. And that way we can do like a shared exit thingy. Something like that. Will also give us more benches on the coaster, which is never a bad thing. Good. Time to set this one up. Obviously, the one rotation is the only way we have. Shall we do forwards or shall we do backwards? I believe if we do forwards over here, that the passengers will think that they will fall or that they will go down on the building. Which I think would be the cooler thing to have. Because this is where the view is, right? So, yeah. We'll go with forward rotation. Forward it shall be, and good, $5, open for business, and we shall call this the. Why don't we call this Spinneroni? Again, a bit cheap and ordinary, but I'm cool with that. Things can be cheap and ordinary here, you know. We don't really have that much orange over here either, so how will that look? Orange with a bit of bright red, and then on the inside something like icy blue. It seems good enough to me. Let's open it up. Nice. Now this should also greatly boost the whole profitability of the park. And speaking about profitability and all, shall we add like a few guests to the park? Named guests, that is. I think we shall. Guest 202, you have spent 90 bucks. Oh, so we do have guests with 90 bucks on cash on hand. Haha, I did not know. Great, you seem like the perfect guest. You will be me, of course. You know, as the perfect guest. You are me. That's damage over there. Let's add a few more. Let's also add, and I will dig up the list here. DS boy. Yep. Welcome to the park. And we shall also have, you've already spent money. You're guest number 8. You're one of the early birds, but that doesn't matter, you know. We shall have you be a boy, the Viper 57. There. You are one of the early birds, happy as a camper, and to all of you, of course, welcome to the park and enjoy your stay. And having said that, we have gentle rides and thrill rides built. I think what we should do right now is to cement our position, load up the max we can do, and get this steel wild mouse rodent coaster. We could also go for this, but then we would absolutely really cover it up. It is cheaper though. Shall we do that? I think what we need to do is we need to work on our finances of this park. And as you can see, those are not that great as of yet. So what we want is cheap investments for good rides. And I look at these cars, and these cars can have 4 guests. So we're gonna have this one. And that will also aid me in my goal of not covering up everything over here. So good. Now where to go with the station on this one? And that's an important question. I think this line here is the one to choose, and then we can do our I say that, but that's not the one to choose. The line to choose is the one like over here, like right next to it. That's interesting, because that leaves us with a little bit less options to maneuver the coaster about. But we'll get this sorted, don't worry. Of course we'll get this sorted. Let's go with this, and let's see. How many of these we have? And if I were to add like 2 more, does that equate to 12? It does. Right. That means for me that we need to... How much further can we pull this back? Right, I think that should do the trick. Alright. Now before we continue with anything, what we shall do is get this hooked up. So to do that, basically the idea is as follows. Just watch. Good, and that is a pretty darn decent queue size if ever I have seen it. Look at that, ladies and gents. Perfect queue size, if I can say so myself. And of course I can, because I are Tycoon Dodge. Now, I don't know if that is like clever, but let me think about this. Or we terraform a little bit and drop down and then lift from here, which we can do. But if the thing breaks down, we have like this stalling situation right here, which is and that's a bit of the tricky bit here. I kind of just want to lift the thing right from the start the whole time. Well, let's see what we can do here. Let's terraform it a bit heavy. Also, what if we... No, that's too high. Yeah, okay, so... That was just a quick experiment, you know. Don't worry. And basically, from here on onwards, we should... And this should work out just fine. Too high for supports. Which... Okay, I think this is the best option that we have. I don't think we can do any better. And by the way, you know what this gives? Cool roof terraces. Imagine the view that you'd have here. Now, if you were to live in one of these roof homes, it would look like utter crap. No, it's not utter crap. It's just horrible. Now what we can do is later on, once we have even more money, is try and fit, what we could do is try and fit another coaster over here. If we do that, then we would be in like real business. We would have to fit it over here. And that would mean that we have to keep this coaster here, which has already gone into the underground. Note that. But that would mean that this coaster would have to stay pretty much in this area. And I will not say that that's impossible, but the area is rather tight. Don't you think? I think so. What we can also do is just try one up and down Z. It is possible to do an up and down Z. And those will add to the ratings. And if we do that, all we have to do is basically plateau our way back to over here. And we're golden. Shall we do that? I think we should. Now we don't want like crazy drops, because those will only make it worse. We also won't do any fancy brakes, and we definitely want lifts all the way. And then, nice. Very nice. It works out like a charm, basically. Is what it comes down to. And that's good, because this is how I want it to be. Like that. Perfect. Now, like I said, we're gonna wiggle it around a little bit, towards the station's entrance, I guess. Yeah, the back end of the station, basically. So, but at the same time, we can't go too crazy with the track design here, else we will rack up the G's. So, it does not prohibit us from going a little bit cool with the track design, which is what I'm trying to do here. I feel like I'm not doing the greatest of jobs with the track design at the moment. Can we go above this? Oh, cool. So this basically means that we can go around the tower? Is that what I'm seeing over here? That would be really cool. I want that. Nice. I like this. It might be just me, but unless I'm mistaken. Yeah. Okay, hold on a second. We need to think about how we're gonna get back. I think what we need to do is do something like that. Yeah, we basically right now we're in a position that all we care about is like the way back. So that's what we shall care about then. So that's alright, that's actually doable. How cool is this? It's a shame that isn't working. Oh wow, really? That's not working because all we lack is like one height difference? Like seriously? Hold on a second, guys. Hold on a second. Hold your horses. This can work. All we need to do now is make sure we line up. Oh, that's a shame. Right. Pause it here for a moment, because what I'm seeing here is a little bit of an issue. We need to be at height 33 here. We want to be anywhere. Maybe what we can do instead is be over here. No. It seems to me almost as if we need to remove one station, and that also includes removing one train, which will mean removing a little bit of profitability. But I don't think we can escape such measures. Yeah, I guess we have to. That's okay though. Let's remove this and just have that be over there. And then now it isn't like we need to terraform that much here. Okay, maybe it is terraforming quite a bit over here in hindsight. But nice. Alright, time to test it. I think we got a pretty solid coaster there, and it only took us like 7 minutes to build, so it's pretty good. I think that we can safely charge the $5 over here. I don't think that will be that much of an issue. And what did we get? We got the swinging ship. Nice. Nice. Yeah, I think we can fit that in somewhere over here. And then still have room for like a coaster over here too. Which, you know, to be honest, I don't think we have much choice in what other coaster we will build here. That has to be the mouse coaster, you know, the regular wooden mouse coaster. And then, yeah, then the difficulty starts. I don't even consider this to be like a valid option because it's just that bad. Now, these are expensive, so considering also our financial position and like game, I mean, I'm making hand signs like in real life to you, like, what were you thinking giving me this? Yeah, maybe it would not be such a bad idea to actually start researching coasters. We don't need it right away, but I think like once we have like the wooden mouse coaster, I think we should research coasters because the other two are just a little bit out of reach still. Anyway, we are gonna have a test ride to watch. But $5. Yeah, okay, you guys watch the test ride. I need to quickly get some benchification down here, because we don't have that either. Definitely need it. We also need a fix mechanic there. Very good. And then we also need an extra handy dude over here. And I do pray. Can I keep you like there? Yes, perfect. This is where I want to keep you. Because I consider this to be like the most high risk region for vomit. So. Nice. Seems pretty alright. I mean, it seems pretty okay, to be honest. I think we can open it up even. I don't know what the ride time is on it, but I do know that if we open it up right now, it's 1:04 with 11. So leaving it at like the 5 second. Oh. So So it is too extreme. That's a shame. I know where that happens as well. We need a break, like right over there, right at the end. Because look, all these G's, they're all pretty acceptable, and then booyah. This is the bad part here. And that happens right there. So let us, before we continue, let us have a look at the speed there. That is at 48 kilometers an hour. It goes down, and then 48, and then up a little, and that's what you see here. So if we break this to say like 35, we should in theory have fixed the coaster. And it's a good thing this thing has brakes. Done. We have done it, guys. Oh, but you know what? Before we... There. That's just to get at least one train going. Nice, okay. Then... Next we want the ship, because we need to get in with the money like crazy. Of course, you know, before we can even build the ship, we do need to give this a name, huh? You can't have a ride this cool without a name. Also, are you even making any money? Yeah, you are. Alright. How is our money making? Yeah, look at that. See, ride income, 1,700. Now, granted, we're still spending loads of it, but staff wages are definitely covered. So, staff wages and research and loan interest. Oh, loan interest is actually pretty high. No, well, I don't know. I mean, compared to our research. The agads are so demanding. Anyway, yeah, you know, so basically the park is profitable, and this coaster will only add to it, you know, and it will have about the same profitability as this one. And this one has like 7,000 an hour, so that's pretty okay. Great. How shall we name this? Why don't we call this the Rat Bastard? Yeah, we definitely do. The Rat Bastard, and then those are different colored. We're definitely gonna keep that. I like that. But as the Rat Bastard, do we want something black over here? Yeah, I mean, why not, right? Black is good. And then... Can we do, like, blue supports? Like, we'll give it a little bit too much blue to my liking. We're gonna stick with the yellow. And then with the black and the... maybe this? Ooh, yeah, I like this a lot more. This contrasts much better with the supports. This is what it's gonna be. Very good. Okay, guys, moving onwards, because there's no time for a pause here. You know, this park is very demanding. Making stuff up as I go, obviously. We'll do that. I mean, you won't see that much of that anyway, right? No, you will, but it is what it is. I can't change it now. And then... No, wait, hold on a second. Entrance there. Exit there. Yeah, that's the way we should have it. The eyes have it. The nays have it. It's kind of funny how we've built both our ships on top of a roof, right? If you think about it, it's not the most logical place. Now, neither is in a jungle. Don't get me wrong, but if you think about it, it does not make that much sense, right? Ah well, who said anything about sense in a park like this? You know, building on top of a skyscraper doesn't make any sense either. Also, is it just me? Oh yeah, no, we're in. We have the infos on, you know. We're all very happy. Just out of curiosity. And there is quite a few folks walking here, but a lot of them are also over here. Once we get rides over here, the profitability of our park will boost, because a lot of our guests are just walking around doing absolutely nothing. Least of all, spending their cash in my very expensive rides where I want them to spend it. Now, the longer they do not spend cash and stay happy and remain in the park, of course, is boosting our guest count. But at the same time, I want them to spend the cash. Also, is it just me? Do I see vomits already? Are we starting to have cleanliness issues here? I don't know. I don't see much issues here. I see the one speck there, but we also don't really have like a Sir James or Goober McScooper. So we don't have like an emergency handy dude. Now, maybe we should have had one, but at the same time, I feel like... Yeah, look at that. Lateral G's are much better on that one. Price on this is set. Let's have a quick look, see if it gives better ratings right now. It wasn't that far. Yeah, look at that, perfect. Rat Bastard, 7.5. That's really good. Guests are gonna flock to this like crazy. It's gonna be good. Now why don't we call this, the Boiler Bash. The Boiler Bash. Bastion. Instead of Bastion, you know? Bastion. Okay, so now that we have this... oops, that was not the intention. How many can we fit in here? 16. We have room for almost 2 loads. So when it starts raining, which I have to admit, it hasn't done in at least 2-3 months. But when it does start raining, we can have almost like a second load. So it will probably preserve the ride income throughout the rain. A little bit. Granted, if we go 25 swings, which is of course what we always do, that does take quite a long while for it to complete, you know. Just one cycle of swings. Ah well, we'll see how it goes. As for this, do we go with more orange? Let's go with the brown and ugly orange. And then I want dark blue. So long as it contrasts without green. We're not going to do greens. And I also don't want to go with too many browns. Well, maybe whites? Yeah, let's go with yellows. Yup. Though then both of them are orange, you know, with the house. I don't like that, to be honest. Instead, we shall go with red. Red, it doesn't look bad either. Maybe bright red? Yeah, bright red. So it doesn't look like the same type of red over there. Else we have more or less the same color scheme. And I don't want things to be too similar. So this is good, you know, the Boiler Bastion. Another ride added to the park. Now, before we go completely crazy with... yeah, let's see. You should at least take that area in there. And I think that soon, TM, we shall have to add maybe like a handy do to this area of the park. I'm just worried about losing them over here in this area, because this is going to be such a pathing trap for our staff. We'll see how it goes. For now though, I think we got a pretty good basis for our park up here on the roofs. But there's room for more, and we shall get more next time when we play more Rollercoaster Tycoon.